AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal.
Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. Brought to you today by William Hill's Final One Standing. Don't forget, get your picks in before the games that are going on this week. The Premier League games I'm talking about. I've made my pick. My pick I've gone for is for Newcastle Leeds. You know what? There's a lot of really difficult games to predict this week, but I feel Newcastle at home, they're really, really strong. Leeds probably looking a bit tired, so that's what I've gone for. Remember, if you want to play, you've got to be over 18, basically UK or Ireland only. T's and C's apply. Please gamble responsibly. Free to play game. The link is in the description if you want more information. And as I said, games, lots of games going on over the next couple of days. You had the game last night, West Ham losing to Forest, City playing tonight, Villa playing tonight. Right. And then, of course, Arsenal playing against Liverpool on Thursday night. And Manchester City, they're ramping up the ante at the moment. They're on the verge of signing Antoine Semenyo for £65 million. Remember, he had that release clause in his deal. So that's going to strengthen their firepower. I think he's the second highest or third highest goal scorer in the league. Third, I think it is, behind Igor Thiago of Brentford. So they'll have Haaland and Semenyo. So that attack is going to be absolutely incredible. So Arsenal may need to go into this transfer market. I mean, do we need to match what Manchester City are doing? Or do we have enough? That is the question this January transfer window, and only time's going to tell what we do. And if we don't do anything, if that's the right decision, I sense that we may do something this transfer window. We're still getting linked with loads of players. The latest being Bradley Barcola of Paris Saint-Germain. Now, a top, still young player, still only 23 years of age, and being linked with Arsenal today. There are reports that Andrea Berta, big admirer of Barcola. We know that Arteta likes him as well, and he is targeting him as one of Arsenal's big signings. Now, we all know about him. He's an exciting, quick, lightning quick player. Really, really exciting. Still got a really, really high ceiling. And the journalist, Loic Tanzi, he's claiming that he could be definitely open to a move. He's not getting a regular game time at PSG. I mean, he faces a lot of competition. You've got Desiree Doué there. You've got Kvaratskhelia. You know, they've just got a wealth of riches in those attacking areas. And they may be open to selling him. More likely, though, in the summer, I feel. I just can't see a deal like this getting done in the January. Number one, it's going to be a lot of money. He's valued at 70 million. I think PSG will be looking for even more money than that. There's a lot of admirers for him, but he would be a really good addition to Arsenal's left wing if we could get that done, although I doubt in January, but maybe one to keep an eye on, definitely coming this summer. But could Karim Adeyemi be a player that gets moved on this January? Certainly, it's starting to look that way. Caught Offside, of course, they were the publication that were heavily linking us with a move for Adeyemi. You can play on the left wing, can play on right wing as well. And it does look like Dortmund may be open to selling him. I told you the other day about this story about how it's his girlfriend who wants to move. And this is, I guess this has not gone down well because it's being reported in the German media and Bild and those publications that she's the one pushing for a move. His missus pushing for a move because she wants to move to a more glamorous city than Dortmund. And that wouldn't have gone down well at all with the Dortmund fans and people who live in Dortmund. But it does seem that he could move this January transfer window if the price is right. Arsenal said to be interested. Also, Manchester United. I want to ask you guys this question today. Is Karim Adeyemi an upgrade on Gabriel Martinelli and Trossard? That's the thing, because for me, if we're going out and buying anybody this January, they've either got to be an upgrade on what we've got, or some sort of, look, in the case of Declan Rice, maybe a backup or a young up-and-coming player that in the future is going to be the one. But Karim Adeyemi, if Arsenal went and bought him, he's a very, very good player, lightning quick, got a lot to his game. But is he better than Martinelli and is he better than Trossard? And therefore, if he's not, why? I don't know. I'm asking you guys this question today. Love to hear from you guys in the comments. Let me know. Jan Diomande is another player that is being heavily linked with a move to Arsenal today. He's been having a fantastic season over there in the Bundesliga. A real wonder kid over there, genuine wonder kid. Plays for RB Leipzig, 6 goals and 3 assists this season for the Ivorian. As I said, still very young, only 19, really tearing it up. Arsenal said to be one of the teams that are closely monitoring him, alongside Manchester United, Tottenham as well. But Leipzig will be demanding a really, really high fee for him. According to the Athletic, they're claiming that they'd want more than £80 million for Jan Diomande in his first season. With his breakout season, should I say. I mean, that's the Premier League tax that a lot of these teams in Germany, in France, charge. That's what I call it, the Premier League tax. If you want to come to the Premier League, we're putting another 20, 30 million on top if you want him, because you guys have got the money over there. So listen, one to keep an eye on. I think unlikely for January, but one to keep an eye on. More likely this January is another wonder kid, which is Igor Tyjon. Spoken about him on yesterday's show. Plays for Blackburn Rovers, still only 17. Arsenal, as we know, made 2 attempts to sign him in the summer, and those were knocked back by Blackburn. But now he's starting to roll down towards the end of his contract. Contract up at the end of this season. And the reports are today is that he's refused to sign a contract extension with Blackburn. And now Blackburn have got a dilemma. Let him go now. Won't be a big fee because he's only 17. Or he walks away for nothing in the summer. So Igor Tyjon could be on his way to Arsenal this January transfer window. Said to favour a move to Arsenal. He's a young striker that is really, really considered a hot prospect. One to keep an eye on, definitely, this January transfer window. And another player that's been heavily linked with Arsenal, and could Arsenal be here about to repeat the trick that they did with Christian Mosquera, where they got him out of Valencia, top prospect, 20 years of age. None of us really knew too much about him, and boy, he's turned into be a fantastic player. Could be back into the Arsenal team possibly this weekend as well. So could Arsenal be about to repeat the same masterstroke with Xavi Guerra of Valencia? Another talented player, plays as a central midfielder, 22 years of age, valued at around about £25 million. Got a contract, a long contract until June 2029. But the reports are that Arsenal are eyeing a move for Guerra. They look on him as one of these sort of player I was talking about a little bit earlier. Young, talented, a player for the future who could come in and learn his trade now. He's technically really, really gifted, a really, really good midfielder. And Andrea Berta is a big admirer of his. And, of course, as I said, he did it with Mosquera, getting him away from Valencia. Can he repeat the trick? I don't think Valencia will be too overjoyed with this unless there's big money involved, which might be that 25 million. But one to keep an eye on. Aston Villa, another team really, really interested in his signing. But Xavi Guerra, let's keep an eye on that situation and see how that one develops. Let me do a couple of your comments. Thank you very much for all of the comments that you've been sending in on the Transfer Daily videos. I really, really appreciate it. You guys, you make some excellent comments. You really do. So let me get into a couple of them. This one comes from Leon Chase, 1813. He said, I like the idea of strong signings. I think not only is it our year, Arteta is preparing our squad for future years. Also, I love his foresight. Let's try for dominance of the league and Europe. I say, why not? We never used to get them sort of comments coming in the January transfer window in previous times. So it's really encouraging to see things like that. Yo, Jamariani 3303 says, can't believe Arsenal still being linked to another defender. Are we a football team or a defence force? Well, you know what? We are a bit of a defence force. We're a football team. Listen, having good defenders has saved us this season, having that backup. Imagine if we haven't have got Pierre Nkapie in, right? We'd be really have been struggling in December. Could possibly have dropped a load of points, you know, because, you know, there was no Gabriel. So, you know, the cover was gone. Calafiori was out as well. I mean, Mosquera, who we also brought in as a defender, has covered off injuries to Saliba. He's covered off injuries to Timber. He's covered off injuries to Ben White. I mean, they have been really important signings. So maybe having strength in depth in that sort of defensive area is what has really, really helped us this season, because we've suffered with a lot of injuries there. You see Man City at the moment having to recall players that they've got out on loan because now they've got injuries to, you know, a couple of their defenders and they're struggling. So maybe the defence foresight there ain't a bad thing. And this one comes from Flea Fighters. He says, Livramento, who we were linked with yesterday, is a good player, but we can't gamble at all with injury-prone players. We already have a bunch. It could hurt us in the future, but we can take risks in other fields. That is a very, very good point made by him, because Livramento, as good a player as he is, he has had a horrible injury record. And do Arsenal want to be going out there, if these rumours are true? And listen, Livramento, I think, is an excellent player. But do you want to risk bringing in a player that has a horrible injury record into the club, into a club that already suffers with lots of injuries? I think he makes a fantastic point there. So listen, those are the rumours for today. Don't forget to check out all of our content around the Liverpool game. Also, if you're in the London area, don't forget, we've got a big watch party for that Liverpool game, which is happening at the Hippodrome Casino. That's right outside Leicester. As soon as you come outside Leicester Square Station, it's right there. We're doing a watch party there. You're invited. You've got to be over 18 to attend it. It's going to be brilliant, so make sure you check that out. Of course, we'll be broadcasting it live on the channel as well. I'll be at the game as well, speaking to fans. Massive game against Liverpool at the Emirates on Thursday night. Thanks for watching the show, and I'll see you tomorrow.